last video, I decided to pick up some PS3 games, and in today's video, I'm going to do just that once again with some more claims from Thrifty Rama on Instagram. That's right, another box. This one's heavier than the last, and we're going to go through these games, tell you what I think of them, some of my memories with them, and whether or not they're worth picking up. So anyways, without further ado, welcome to the CesArcade.
Get ready.
So once again, Thrifty Rama from Instagram. Those claims I just couldn't pass up, and there were some more popping up, and I was just like, you know what? I need some more PlayStation 3 games in my collection, and I should stop playing with this knife. That being said, I claimed more because I just couldn't help myself. I've kept a tally of what everything cost in this box, and we're gonna get into it. So let's do that right away. I mean, look at this. Ooh. Alright, let's start from this side. What do we got? Ooh, this one was a freebie from Thrifty Rama. Saw how much I was claiming this time around, and they decided to throw this one in there. So thank you again, Thrifty Rama. I really do appreciate you. You didn't have to do this, but you did anyways. And the freebie is Lost Planet on the PlayStation 3. Now I have this already on the 360, and you're going to notice that's an ongoing trend in today's video. But like I said before, the situation calls for it and the online servers are still up, and I have a chance of experiencing the multiplayer for these games that I completely missed out on back when they originally came out. I'm gonna get it on the PS3. And this one was a freebie, so it was kind of a no-brainer. Lost Planet. Next up, what do we have? We have a factory sealed Gran Turismo 5 Prologue. I didn't need to get this, but for $5, okay, bet. I'm gonna claim it. Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Generations. They were doing little stopgap games in between each numbered entry. What this was basically taking all the older characters from the Shippuden era and bringing back the original younger versions of them from the original Storm game. So it's basically like a combination of both rosters, and that's basically what you're getting with Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Generations. I got this when it came out. I didn't really play it too much compared to some of the others, but it was nice to revisit some of the younger versions of those characters. And of course, the game is still fantastic. Next up, we've got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. And this completes my Modern Warfare collection on the PlayStation 3. Last video I had Call of Duty 4. The video before that I got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. And yeah, I just got into playing these Call of Duty games again on the PlayStation 3, and they're still an absolute blast even to this day. I'm still good at these games.
Defeated. Do not let this happen again.
Next up, we have Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch. Now, Ni no Kuni, I remember when it was originally coming out, I was pretty hyped for it. Considering the graphical style of it, the level 5. I always liked how it looked like a Studio Ghibli film come to life, and that's mainly why I picked it up. I played up to the first boss fight, got through that, and I never touched it again. I've since gotten it on the Switch, and I completely forgot that I did, but here it is on the PlayStation 3 once again, because I'm a masochist, and I have no idea why I did it. It was only $5, so I couldn't complain. Rage Anarchy Edition for the PlayStation 3. I mean, I saw this. It had the slipcover, okay? And the slipcover is really nice. And the cool thing about this one is that despite being backwards compatible with modern day Xboxes for the 360 version, the game is all on one disc on PS3. Next up, continuing with the Naruto love, here we have Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm Revolution, baby. I didn't care too much about some of the changes they made to the mechanics. I understand it was more of an experimental thing, that the developers were trying something new with some of the fighting mechanics. That being said, a lot of them didn't carry over into Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, but being that this was a stopgap between 3 and 4, I think it was a pretty solid game. It added so much more in terms of the roster, in terms of the final bosses. You got Obito Unmasked. I remember cosplaying Masked Obito and meeting the actual director for CyberConnect 2 and this game at New York Comic Con. It was fantastic. He was a very nice guy, and it even comes with the Mecha Naruto card. Next up, we have Ultra Street Fighter 4. This one was physical on the 7th generation of consoles. It was ported to the 8th generation, so I have it digitally on the PS4, but it never got a physical release for that system, unfortunately. So I decided, you know what, 10 bucks, I can't pass it up. I want to own the final version of Street Fighter 4 on the PlayStation 3, and to this day, it's still my favorite Street Fighter. Next up, we have another $10 claim. This one is for Star Ocean: The Last Hope International Edition. Now, this is one I had on 360 for the longest time. I got pretty far in the 360 version, but I got up to a point, I think it was after a boss fight, where the game crashed on me and I lost my save data for that. I didn't want to do that boss fight over again, so I decided to just give up. I would like to return to it one day, but I decided to get the PS3 version because I liked it. Ratchet and Clank Full Frontal Assault. Now, I believe this is more of a tower defense game based off the Ratchet and Clank Future engine. I'd never played it before. I'm really looking forward to checking this one out, and I have all of the Ratchet and Clank PS3 games. Although I do gotta hunt down a Quest for Booty European edition because that game never got a physical release out here. But yeah, this one in particular, I'm really happy to have. It was only 15 bucks, so yeah. Ooh. This is one that has the holofoil cover that I've wanted for the longest time. I almost got it on the 360, but since I already have them standalone, I decided to get the Game of the Year edition on the PlayStation 3. I'm playing through Undead Nightmare again, and it is fantastic. This one was only 10 bucks to claim from Thrifty Rama. Red Dead Redemption Game of the Year edition. Game really needs no introduction, honestly. It's got all the content on one disc on the PlayStation 3 version. Now granted, the PlayStation 3 version is a little rougher frame rate wise and graphic wise compared to the 360 version, especially when you consider in the backwards compatibility of the Xbox modern day consoles running it. That being said, it's still a fantastic game no matter what you play it on, and the online multiplayer still works in this game. I was having a ball. We were just going at it, teaming up with random people and taking out some cowboys. It was fantastic. BioShock Infinite, the complete edition. I had no idea a complete edition of this game existed. Yeah, this one has all the DLC on disc. I love how it has a different cover art compared to the original edition of the game, and it's BioShock Infinite. It's a game that looks absolutely gorgeous no matter what console you play it on. And despite, like I said, me playing it multiple times in the past, on 360, on Xbox One, I'm returning to it once again on the PS3, and hey, I'm getting trophies for it, okay? That game messed me up. It messed me up completely for like a week. I was thinking about it. White Knight Chronicles 2. Now this one was 20 bucks, okay? So a bit more expensive compared to the rest of the games individually, but White Knight Chronicles 2 is kind of a 2-for-1 deal. If you've never played the original White Knight Chronicles, it was a JRPG that had a very massive multiplayer online style battle system. And I remember playing the first one a little bit and not really gelling with it, but I always wanted to give it another chance. White Knight Chronicles 2 has the original game with engine enhancements and changes that they've done since moving to the sequel. And unfortunately, this game never got a third entry. I don't know if the story ends at the second game with a good conclusion, but I'm looking forward to returning to this series and actually playing through these games at some point. And last but not least, we got one more. This one was a heavy hitter, the heaviest of all the Thrifty Rama claims in these past two videos. This one was $45. But when I saw it pop up for $45, I said to myself, this is a miracle. This claim still was just for me. 3D Dot Game Heroes. This is one of those pricier PlayStation 3 exclusives that are stuck on the console. And I know people say that all the time. It's stuck on the PS3. You can't play it on modern consoles. Why? Why do you have to play it on a modern console? for it to be easily accessible. It's okay, I get it. Alright, but it's not that hard to find a PlayStation 3 in the wild that still works. Those things are pretty resilient, especially the later models, and buy these games. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Anyways, 3D Dot Game Heroes was a game that I remember buying back when it originally released. I remember watching reviews for it and being like, holy crap, this looks so cool. It's like classic Legend of Zelda. I'm gonna love this game. I played it for like 10-20 minutes and I never touched it again. I traded it in. I should have realized that it wasn't gonna really gel with me back then because I wasn't a classic Legend of Zelda fan. Why did I buy it in the first place? My dumbass. But that's besides the point. I have it now in my collection to re-add into the PS3 wall because I never gave this game a fair shot. And it's such a unique looking game that it's definitely worth adding to your collection, especially if you're a fan of those classic Zelda games. So I decided to finally get it once again. Paid only $45 for it. It's in great shape and I'm really happy with it. So that is it for my intense second haul of games from Thrifty Rama. PlayStation 3, such a fantastic console. If you haven't played anything on the PlayStation 3 or are even remotely interested in buying one, take it from me, it's definitely worth the investment. PlayStation 3 is such a fantastic console, and I'm so happy to finally be rekindling my love for it because it was one of the greatest of all time. If you played any of these games growing up, in the past, recently, I want to know about it. Let me know in the comment section below. What was your experience with them? Which ones of these were your favorites? Did you have a great time with them? If you catch somebody named Space Godzilla on PSN in Call of Duty, it's definitely me, so go easy on me. Really do appreciate you all for tuning in. And I wish you all a good game and good night.